There is a quiet war happening inside you, a war between the person you are and the person you were meant to become. Every day the battlefield is your mind. Every moment the enemy is comfort, distraction, doubt. And if you don't rise with a sword of vision in your hand, regret will write your story. The world will not hand you purpose. It will not assign you greatness. You have to claim it. You have to decide that your life will mean something more than survival, more than scrolling, more than working, more than making it to Friday just to escape. You were not born to just exist. You were born to dominate a dream so big it scares you. And yet, most people will never feel what that obsession feels like. They'll taste it once, in a moment of inspiration, a spark of belief, and then let the fire die, snuffed out by routine and excuses. But not you, not this time, not anymore. You must become obsessed with your vision. Not interested, not curious, obsessed, because obsession is the birthplace of greatness. It is the relentless drive that built the railroads, that split the atom, that landed man on the moon. Obsession forged empires and rewrote human history. Edison was obsessed. Carnegie was obsessed. Disney, Ford, Lincoln. They were all men who refused to live in the gray fog of maybe one day. They saw something before the world did. They believed something before it was possible. They became something before they were recognized. And that is what vision does. It transforms ordinary into extraordinary. Not because the world says you're ready, but because your soul declares you must. Let the world call you crazy. Let the doubters whisper. Let the critics roll their eyes. Because while they sleep, you'll be building. While they doubt, you'll be sharpening. While they hesitate, you'll be becoming. But to live this way, to live with vision, you have to kill who you were. You have to bury the part of you that needed permission, the part of you that waited for perfect timing, the part of you that feared rejection more than regret. Regret is a slow poison. It does not strike like failure. It lingers. It haunts. It comes back when the room is quiet and whispers, "You could have. You should have." That is the enemy. That is what you are really fighting. Not just fear, but regret. Not just failure, but wasted potential. You do not escape that by playing it safe. You escape it by becoming obsessed with your vision, by making it the centerpiece of your life. Not a hobby, not a maybe, not a side project. Your vision is your oxygen. It is the thing that wakes you up before the alarm, that keeps you up when the world tells you to rest, that whispers in your ear when you feel like quitting. One more rep, one more page, one more step. Without vision, discipline is a prison. With vision, discipline is freedom. Clarity is your starting point. What do you want? Not what your parents want, not what society wants, not what your friends think is realistic. What do you want? Too many people are drifting in a fog of indecision, hoping to land somewhere meaningful without ever setting a course. That's not life. That's spiritual roulette. You must name your desire. You must define the life you're building in vivid detail. Because the universe does not respond to vague wishes. It responds to definiteness of purpose. You think Carnegie stumbled into fortune? Think again. He wrote down his goals. He visualized. He obsessed. Napoleon Hill called it a burning desire, not a warm wish, not a flicker of interest, a fire that consumes every excuse, every doubt, every obstacle. So ask yourself, what do you see when you close your eyes and dream without fear? What life sets your soul on fire? That vision, that's your blueprint. And once you have it, protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Now comes belief, because clarity without belief is a car without gas. It looks good, but it's not going anywhere. You don't get belief from evidence. You create it before the results come. This is where most people get stuck. They want to see proof before they act. They want the world to validate their dream before they commit. But vision doesn't work that way. Belief must come first. It must come from within. You must believe you are worthy of success before the bank account shows it. You must believe you are an athlete before the body looks like it. You must believe you are a creator before the world recognizes it. Faith in the unseen is the foundation of all achievement. Ford didn't wait for someone to give him permission to reimagine transportation. He believed the impossible could become inevitable. Walt Disney stood in an empty orange grove in the middle of nowhere and saw magic. That's not logic, Morse, that's vision. And the world is starving for it, starving for people bold enough to believe when no one else does. But belief is not enough. You must live your belief. You must act on it. And that's where the fire of discipline begins to burn. Discipline is not punishment. It is alignment. It is what happens when your actions and your vision speak the same language. It's the reason why some people rise before the sun, train when it hurts, and work when it's lonely. Not because they enjoy the grind, but because they are possessed by a vision so powerful the grind becomes irrelevant. Discipline turns chaos into rhythm. It converts pain into power. It's the bridge between the life you have and the life you dream about. And every time you choose discipline over comfort, you lay another brick in the foundation of greatness. But that path will not be straight. It will test you. It will demand that you adapt. Because vision without adaptability is like a river without flow. It stagnates. When life punches you in the face, and it will, your ability to pivot, to learn, to rise again will determine everything. You must become like water, fluid, fierce, and unstoppable. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't call them failures, he called them steps. Because failure isn't the end, it's feedback. It's a signal. Try again, try different, try better. Your obsession must be greater than your fear of looking foolish, greater than your fear of losing, greater than your need to be liked. You must learn to wear your scars like medals, because every setback is shaping you, sharpening you. Every challenge is a chisel sculpting your character. Resilience is not optional, it's your armor, and it's forged in fire. When the world tells you no, you look it in the eye and say, watch me. When the results don't come, you don't quit. You double down. Because you're not here for applause. You're here for impact. And impact doesn't come from comfort. It comes from obsession. Obsession is your responsibility. It is the agreement you make with your soul that says, I will not die full of potential. It is the decision that your life will not be dictated by fear or circumstance or convenience. It is the vow that your dream will not be buried under someone else's expectations. The road will be long. You will be misunderstood. You will walk alone more times than you like. But that's the price of leading yourself, of becoming the architect of your destiny. And once you taste the power of obsession, once you realize what it means to live with purpose and direction and fire, there is no going back. The distractions lose their grip. The doubt fades into silence. And what remains is clarity. The kind of clarity that turns time into a weapon and failure into fuel. You will become dangerous, not to others, but to every limitation that ever dared to stand in your way. And in that pursuit, in that daily decision to rise, to build, to believe, you will not only change your life, you will inspire others to rise too. You will ignite something in the hearts of those still sleeping. You will lead not by words, but by example. So do not settle. Do not coast. Do not silence that voice inside that knows you were meant for more. Feed it, fuel it, follow it. Become obsessed with your vision or settle for regret.